Um, okay, so I want you to just visualize something for a second. You're walking along this totally stunning beach right on the Red Sea.
Oh, yeah. Turquoise water the works.
Exactly. And you step onto that pristine, powdery white sand. Now, what do you actually think you're stepping on? Because, I mean, the usual assumption is...
Crushed shells. Or maybe eroded rocks.
Right, that is the logical assumption.
Yeah.
But looking at our sources for this deep dive, the reality is actually entirely biological.
Yeah.
Most of that beautiful soft white sand was, it was actually manufactured inside the belly of a fish.
Specifically the parrotfish.
Which is exactly why we're doing this deep dive today. Yeah, and through a whole stack of marine biology reports, ecosystem studies, and the consensus is pretty clear.
We really need to stop looking at the parrotfish as just some colorful reef resident.
Right. They are bioengineers, massively industrial sand factories, basically.
It totally redefines local manufacturing.
It really does. So let's look at the hardware first, because the most obvious feature is the mouth.
Which looks exactly like a parrot's beak.
Right, hence the name. But reading the material science papers we have here, it's not just bone.
No, the teeth are fused together into this biomineral called fluorapatite.
Fluorapatite?
Yeah, and it's fascinating because it's actually one of the hardest substances found in any living animal. Structurally speaking, it is harder than gold or copper.
Wow.
Even harder than silver.
Which honestly makes total sense when you look at their diet. Because they aren't just nibbling on seaweed.
Not at all. The literature points out they target endolithic algae. These are microscopic plants that grow right inside the limestone skeleton of the coral.
So to get to that food, they literally have to excavate. They bite actual chunks out of the solid rock.
And the sources mention you can audibly hear this underwater.
Oh, right, the crunching.
Exactly. If you're diving nearby, you hear this loud crunch, 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 crunch reverberating around you. It is the literal sound of the reef being physically reshaped.
But the beak is really just the intake valve, right? The actual engineering happens further inside.
Yes, once they bite off that chunk of rock, it moves to the throat. They have this pharyngeal mill.
A second set of grinding jaws.
Basically. These internal throat bones pulverize the hard coral into this extremely fine powder just to digest the algae hidden inside the matrix.
And obviously that rock powder has to go somewhere.
It gets excreted as pristine white sand.
The scale of this output is just staggering to me. One data point from the reports really stood out. A single large parrotfish can produce up to 1,000 pounds of sand a year.
That is about 450 kilograms.
Right, from a single fish. It really puts a different spin on a tropical vacation.
It really does. When you lay your towel down on that perfect white beach, you are effectively sunbathing on tons of processed biological sediment.
Fish poop.
Yes, exactly.
But this efficient recycling isn't their only superpower. The research highlights a very specific survival mechanism they use at night.
Because reefs are incredibly dangerous at night. You've got predators like moray eels everywhere.
And eels hunt by smell? So if a fish is just resting in a crevice, it becomes an easy olfactory target.
Which is why the parrotfish secretes a mucus cocoon.
Right, a transparent jelly bubble.
Takes about 30 minutes to form, I think.
It does, and it wraps entirely around the fish, acting as a complete scent blocker.
So it locks in their chemical signature. An eel can swim right past and completely miss them. Plus, the sources note it acts as a barrier against tiny ocean parasites.
Like a biological mosquito net.
Precisely. Optimization is definitely the theme with this species, and that even extends to their social structure.
Or the life cycle.
Yeah.
They undergo this fascinating shift in identity to maintain their hierarchy.
Because they are protogynous hermaphrodites, almost all parrotfish are actually born female.
And then as they mature, specific individuals biologically transform into males to lead the group.
This is the super male phase described in the visual guides.
Where they shift from those camouflage colors to neon pinks, greens, and blues.
That visual flair is all about dominance and territory. And maintaining that territory is actually crucial for the survival of the reef itself.
Because they act as underwater lawnmowers.
Exactly. By constantly grazing, they remove the fast-growing algae that would otherwise just smother and kill the slow-growing coral.
So they keep the entire ecosystem functional. Just to recap the profile we've built here from the sources. The parrotfish is the architect of the beach.
A master of chemical disguise.
And the guardian of the coral reef.
All while looking incredibly striking in neon.
It really gives you a whole new appreciation for the ecosystem.
It does. We travel thousands of miles to admire the pure beauty of a white sand beach, but that beauty is the direct result of a biological waste management process. It completely challenges how we view waste in nature.
It really does. Which brings us to a final thought for you to take away today. Next time you're sweeping sand out of your car after a beach trip, ask yourself what other waste in the natural world is secretly the foundation of our favorite environments.